look, I'm here to bring solution and light. I consider you to be a voice of reason, a voice of truth. You're almost like a lighthouse on the edge of a cliff, letting people know what's real and what's not. I mean, obviously, you've been on multiple podcasts all over the world, sharing with people like, hey, this is actually the truth about the safety, the precautions, the integration, pre, peri, and post. So right now, if you were to take a deep breath, Hamilton, and view life 30,000 feet, which probably you've done many times in ceremonies, you've probably seen the world, you've probably been in other galaxies. But if you were to pull way back, man, and just look at us right here, 30,000 feet in the air, what would you say the entire plant medicine world, the entire, I guess you could say, plant medicine industry needs to hear?
Well, they need to hear responsibility more than anything. They need to understand the true power of what they're engaging with. And they need to understand that these plant medicines are not just medicines if you administer them. It's not a glorified role of a bartender. You're not just a glorified person, prescribing a tea to somebody or just some kind of, plant elixir. These are unbelievably serious and unbelievably profound plants that have literally shaped human consciousness over the last 50,000 years. And there's a fundamental reason in the Amazon that the true practitioners of the lineages of medicine go through 10 to 15, 20 years of apprenticeship. Just a quick short story to give an idea of this. I got my first compliment from the teachers teaching me when I had made it through my first year. And then they told me, and at that point I had participated in just under 70 ceremonies. Oof. And that was the first time they said anything nice to me. And then they told me they would look at me again when I had 1,000 ceremonies of experience.
How many do you have now?
I lost count after 1,200. So somewhere around 1,500, 1,600 ceremonies.
Okay. I digress. I was just curious. Yeah.
Yeah. Specifically with ayahuasca, but in total, probably 4,000 plant medicine ceremonies of different kinds of plant medicine.
Well, thank you for sharing your wisdom, because what I've always felt from you in our private calls and right here on this podcast, there is a groundedness to you. Yes, you know how to guide and navigate people in 4 and 5D. You've done it 4,000 times now. But what I really appreciate about you and your work and just you as a human being is your feet are firmly planted here on the ground. I don't hear you talking in radical esoteric speak. I find that your business success you've had both in media and crypto and all the ways that you've been able to navigate this human experience, it is a breath of fresh air, man. It is a breath of fresh air to all of us to get some sense making into the plant medicine world. We had so many questions from the community. I put out a call that you were going to be on the show, and we probably have 50 people that asked you questions. But the key question that was like a through line for everyone that we asked was, what is the key difference between the dark magic, the sorcery aspect versus the divine light? God and spirit guiding the medicine. There is a black and a white there. Can you paint a picture of what that actually is?
Yeah, I think the easiest way is you take that picture behind you, which shows the chakras, and we call it the inner rainbow or the shungo. And is your intention to straighten that for somebody and open that and know how to guide that and remove any kinds of energies that are fundamentally not healthy and not of the person's well-being? And can you bring mental clarity to the upper chakras? Can you, again, connect them to earth and connect them to the greater multi-D that you mentioned? And can you make that body and that being shine? And can you make the soul shine and the spirit shine and represent really true medicine? And when you can, you learn how to guide that in ceremony, and you don't leave it just up to the plants. You guide it truly from the beginning to the end of the ceremony through Icaros and through intention, and you know how to do that. You've been fundamentally trained in that art and in that skill. And the dark arts is the exact opposite. The idea is to take that beautiful rainbow and distort it and twist it to fundamental mythologies that are about the nature of power and persuasion and the taking from somebody and trying to manipulate somebody.